Adventures of Ellen White and the Pioneers. Print a little paper.
We heard how Captain Bates learned about the seventh-day Sabbath. He was so happy that he wanted everyone to know this good news. He wrote a book about it so that others might also learn of the true Sabbath. Captain Bates had tried to talk to Sister White about keeping the seventh day for the Sabbath, but she could not see the importance of it. In fact, Sister White thought at the time that Captain Bates made a mistake in urging the seventh day to be kept holy as the true Sabbath. But she had never really studied the subject carefully from the Bible. Captain Bates's book about the Sabbath was printed about the same time that Ellen was married to James White. And together, Ellen and James studied the book, carefully comparing it with the Bible. As a result, they found that God had never changed the Sabbath day, but it had been changed to the first day of the week by man. James and Ellen White kept the very next Sabbath and also started teaching others to keep God's true Sabbath. Today we are going to hear another message from an angel in Revelation 14. But it might be well for us to review the messages of the two angels that we studied at the time of the Great Disappointment. The first angel's message in Revelation 14:7 was the judgment message, telling everyone to worship the God of creation. We need to keep teaching that first message today, because so many people are saying that there is no God or that God is dead. The second angel's message was the call to come out of Babylon or the false churches. Now let's turn to Revelation 14 verses 9 to 11. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God. We will not take time right now to read all of it, because we want to find out just what this third message is talking about. Remember that the second angel's message was a call to come out of the false churches that were not teaching all the Bible truths? Well, the third angel's message is to those same people who have not come out of the false churches yet. The beast that the angel warns about is the head of all these false churches, and the mark of the beast is the false Sabbath or Sunday, the first day of the week, which the churches keep. This third angel's message began to be preached after the Great Disappointment, when the people searched their Bibles to find their mistake about the 2,300 years. That is when they discovered the truth about the seventh-day Sabbath, just as Elder and Mrs. White did. After Elder and Sister White had sincerely studied and searched the Bible in regard to the right day to keep holy, Sister White was given a vision in the home of Brother Howland, showing her the importance of the Sabbath. God gave her a view of the heavenly sanctuary, and in this vision she saw the most holy place where the 10 Commandment law is kept. She saw Jesus raise the cover or the lid of the ark, and inside she saw the holy law that was written by the finger of God on the 2 tables of stone. And as she looked, she saw that a halo of light was all around the 4th commandment, showing that the Sabbath was set apart to be kept in honor of God's holy name. And she saw that the Roman Catholic Church had changed it from the 7th day to Sunday, which is the first day of the week. After this vision, there was no doubt as to which day was the true Sabbath. This is very important because Sabbath is going to be a great test of obedience in these last days, just as the tree of knowledge of good and evil was the test of obedience to Adam and Eve. Then Sister White was given another vision, and in this vision she was given a special message for her husband. You must begin to print a little paper and send it out to the people. Let it be small at first, but as the people read, they will send you money with which to print, and it will be a success from the beginning. From this small beginning, it was shown to me to be like streams of light that went all around the world. Yes, a little printed paper was the best way to teach people, scattered here and scattered there, about the three angels' messages, and especially this new light about the Sabbath. Up until this time, Elder and Mrs. White had been writing copies of the visions and instructions by hand, over and over, to send to the ministers and churches who would read them and pass them on for others to read. But this work of writing had become a great burden because there was never enough time to answer all the letters they received from members asking questions. But if they printed a little paper, then it could be sent everywhere. Sister White could also send out her messages in this little paper. And although Elder White was crippled in one foot, he walked to the town of Middleton, 8 miles away, to make arrangements to get the little paper printed. He explained about their plans to print a small paper, but that they had no money to pay for it yet. "If you print this paper for us, you'll have to wait for the money. Will you do that?" Elder White asked. The printer was a kind man, and he was sure that he could trust an honest-looking man who wanted to print a religious paper, and so the printer agreed to print 1,000 copies of the paper. Elder White began to write. He worked very hard to write just the things that would touch the hearts of the people. And when he had a few things written, he would walk the 8 miles and give them to the printer. Finally, the paper was written and printed. It was called The Present Truth, because they believed it was new Bible truth for the present time. What rejoicing there was when this first copy of The Present Truth was brought home from the printers. Everyone in the house gathered around to see the new paper, and then they put the 1,000 copies on the floor so they could all kneel around them for a prayer of thanksgiving. They were so thankful that at last the truth was being printed. They asked God to bless each paper so that it would encourage those who already believed and also helped others to learn the truth. The papers were mailed to the people they hoped would appreciate them, and they did. Soon letters of appreciation began arriving, expressing thanks for the paper and also including money to help for the printing. There were also letters telling of people who had learned about the seventh-day Sabbath for the first time when they read about it in the Present Truth paper. That was the beginning of our publishing work in 1849. Psalm 68 verse 11 says, "The Lord gave the word. Great was the company of those that published it." And it's still true today. The Lord gave us His word, the Bible, and our publishing houses have great companies of workers printing the Seventh-day Adventist message today. As a result of that small beginning, the three angels' messages are being proclaimed everywhere by the printed paper. Today we see the fulfillment of that vision that Sister White had many years ago, streams of the light of truth going all around the world. Elder and Mrs. White had a real burden for the children and young people, so in 1852 a special paper was printed just for the young people. It was called The Youth's Instructor. But now we have many other papers for the children of all ages, Our Little Friend, Primary Treasure, and Guide. Come and join us next time to hear about a miracle on the ice.